Ah, excellent.
And we are off between Dessy and Helio. Helio or helium? We'll see how high it gets.
Actually, I think since it's French, would it be Helio? I'm not sure.
I'm going with Helio.
Okay.
I'm already struggling pronouncing things.
Both runners making their way down the old shaft. Wow, Elminster. Excuse me.
So, just, the basic beginner stuff. Intro, there'll be a morph ball, there'll be some other piece of garbage.
Oh, the trash energy tank. So it looks like Southern Kip is going to be joining me. MST right here is going to be running off. He has his own randomizer event to attend to, starting soon-ish.
I'm hearing the cheers from the crowd already. Oh, morph ball, power bombs, and an energy tank. Kind of a garbage start.
Desi choosing not to go visit Billy Mays. Probably just... But he is choosing to go down here to this minor item. He's probably hoping for supers.
And not getting them.
No regular missiles.
Probably thinks this is not a super seed. So, with power bombs, he's not even going to check the item over there, so... Which, again, going into Brinstar that way is weird and strange and...
the general consensus seems to be that it's not as optimal.
And speaking of the greatest Southerner, Kip, named Kip, he is in here now, so...
But he's probably still getting set up. So, MST, I guess that...
Please, everybody, throw your money at him. He's going to say cool jokes.
Everyone, like and subscribe. Speed Gaming, Fiesel.
So, yeah. So, yeah, sign off.
Thank you for joining me today, MST. And while I wait for Kip to get set up and officially join, I will continue. We'll see that Desi has finished the climb. Oh, super missiles under the old Mother Brain tank. Should be able to finish off Bomb Trezo if he has bombs very quickly. Oh, speed booster. Huh, this is, well, Bomb Trezo skip confirmed. Desi with Pro Tier, Alcatraz escape. Nice pun there, Raven. Nice. Well, since he's safety saving, I'm wondering if Desi's going to make a run to the gauntlet. That looks like it's exactly what he's going to do. He's probably going to check the item and then reset and peace out. Or maybe he'll... Well, he is capable of He does have a lot of stutter experience, so he'll probably just short charge and get his way out. I think he still needs a 4% drop, though.
Hey, Leno, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Kip, sir. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Doing good. How did excellent? How did your event go today? It sounded like you were pretty busy.
It was great. Yeah, I had to go out of town yesterday to play a gig, but it was good. Glad to be back. And hello, everybody.
I'm assuming chat can hear you just fine. You have not. I don't know if you were caught up fully on where we are in the video, but Speed Booster was in Bomb Chorizo.
Okay.
And Dessy is now going to try and short charge his way out of the gauntlet.
Yes, okay, that's exactly what I'm looking at. Looks like Dixie is just now coming out of the ship, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And Dixie's having a lot of fun.
Oh, got the charge, but couldn't quite
Oh no.
get the
Oh
spark
no.
there. Excellent attempt, though.
Yep, one in the same. Oh, there's the short charge. He got it.
Very nice.
Energy tank at the Terminator. So the start of it is looking like it's going to be a very healthy seed.
Yeah, having Speed Booster so quickly certainly makes things interesting. You know, there's a lot of seeds where you just either A, don't find it, or it comes much later. This allows, you know, easier access to wreck ship, but also kind of makes wreck ship a little bit more attractive because, as everybody knows, if you don't have Speed Booster, you literally cannot get one of the items in wreck ship. So it'll be interesting to see what choices they make from here.
Based on their ammo counts, I think they'll probably go up Red Tower to go to wreck ship if they go that way. Doesn't look like anybody's gonna want to. I don't know.
Yeah, I think, you know, early wreck ship is something that is talked a lot in a lot of these matches. I think it just kind of comes down to the individual runner's comfort or maybe what they're looking to try to do. You know, sometimes people make the choice not to go early wreck ship because they want to exhaust all of the big items they can get at the bottom. So we'll just kind of see. But, ooh, high jump boots, my favorite item. That's a very nice pickup there.
Nice. What? Oh, Dessy's filling up on power bombs. Okay. Fireflies have a very it's a 99% chance to drop a power bomb. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's a great choice, especially, you know, to try to fill up and get as many as you need beforehand. I'm not sure. I was looking at Dixie's stream. I'm not sure if Dessy has already gone to the bottom, because there are those frogs, like basically where Dixie's walking in right now, those frogs drop power bombs like 99% or something like that. So it's usually a good spot to refill as well, as long as you can drop the first one. Wow.
Oh, Ice Beam. Interesting.
So you need, you know, most people know this, but we're going to go ahead as commentators and just kind of discuss a few of the pieces of information so everybody's aware. You basically have to have either Speed Booster or Ice Beam to complete a rando, because you have to have one of those two to get through Meridia. And it's kind of interesting to see that both of them are found at the very beginning here. You don't see that very often.
Oh, that's for sure. So Dessy's going to pick up his high jump boots. He'll be very happy with that. I think Dixie's struggling just a little bit. Uh-oh, in the little spike bug room here. Oh, he's got to be careful. He's in grave danger.
Yeah, he very close there on the health, but hopefully he won't have too many more issues. You know, there's a few places he could get some health in the next few rooms.
This particular randomizer is not a downloadable program. nor is it a patch. It is an online website that is handling all of this. There is an older randomizer program made by Dessyreqt, one of our 2 runners. However, for reasons that I will not be completely clear on, it can't be hosted. And I'll just leave it at that.
Also, Yuppie making a good point. I mentioned earlier that you basically have to have ice or speed booster to make it through Meridia. He brought up the point that you can actually do a crystal flash clip to get past that part, but it's incredibly difficult. I doubt many of the runners, explicitly practice that move a ton. So I'm just kind of being, offering it in general. Most people are probably going to try to find one of the other items.
I know Dessyreqt does know that particular clip. He cursed Chronic Sauce for one of the older puzzles. Because that was actually the solution to get to Batoon. You had to do a Crystal Flash clip to get up there.
Yeah, I've never done it myself. I just find that, I understand kind of how it works, but as in general, I'd rather not get up there and just miss it a bunch of times and then fail, you know what I mean? So it's easier when you have one of the major items that'll get you through there.
Now that the players are in sync, they're high-fiving each other all the time. I suspect that Helio did not mean to go visit the Decora. Oh, I know what Dessy's trying to do. He's trying to short charge so he can get echoes. Oh, so he can kill all 3 of kill the Mega Sidehopper.
Yeah, one thing that you have here is since both players have the high jump boots, there's actually a setup here. It looks like Dixie just did it. If you have Moonwalk, you can just kind of moonwalk your way back against the wall. But if you don't have Moonwalk, you kind of need to get hit by the hoppers to get up there. But wow, look at what we have here.
Oh, Varia. Flashing all the shrugs.
Very interesting. I mean, the beginning of this has been very generous. Varia, Ice, High Jump Boots, and Speed Booster. I mean, those are very, very powerful items. So, now with Varia so early, even before they get to Red Tower, that might change some of their decisions in terms of if anybody was thinking about going wreck ship first, they might actually, choose to just go down since they know they're protected. And don't have to do any hill runs. And here we're about to see... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lena.
I was going to say, with Speed Booster, they can go underneath and check the waterway and fully clean up Red Brinstar.
Exactly. That was what I was going to say. Basically, you don't see Speed Booster early too often, and there have been plenty of times where people have, now I've done this myself many times, I've forgotten, about this item because I didn't have speed the time that I was around it the first time, So this will be interesting because none of them will have to backtrack here in the future. Wow.
Wow, what is this seed?
Unbelievable. I mean, this is not a joke at this point. Depending on, what all moves they know how to do, literally, there are ways to get through Meridia without gravity suit, but at the same time, if both runners found gravity, they would essentially be in go mode. They could literally finish.
Depending on the placement of 1 or 2 more items, they might already consider themselves in go mode because they have almost everything they need already.
Yeah,
this is going to be a very fast seed.
I could be mistaken, but I think is grapple a 100% requirement to do Suitless Meridia? I think it is, but I could be wrong.
If you know how to do Spring Ball, the Spring Ball jump glitch, no, grapple is not required.
Okay.
But for the sake of everyone else, we'll just say yes, grapple is required. Just because, well, actually, no, you wouldn't even be required because you don't even have to use it in Mount Doom to crab climb.
Yeah, that's true. I guess there's many ways to get around it, although it would be much faster if you had it.
I think I know what Dessy's trying to do. He's trying to ceiling clip so we can save his power bomb. Oh, he almost had it too.
And Dessy making the choice there to skip the missile item there. Or maybe he's going to... Okay, no, he's still going back. I guess, it makes it interesting to get charged so early because, when you don't have charge for a long time, it kind of makes grabbing those miners more attractive because you just never know what's going to happen. But when you get charged so early, you can really make some different choices in terms of managing your ammo.
We saw Helio pick up the bombs at the Spazer. Power bomb management is no longer an issue. Man, this seed is literally a free seed. It's just giving the players a victory.
So far, I'm gonna hesitate to say that it's super easy until we find gravity. I've seen a few seeds give a lot of items early, but then have gravity in Meridia. And I'm not saying that these players can't handle that, obviously, but it certainly makes things a little slower.
That's a good point. This could just be like a traditional Link to the Past randomizer where it's giving you everything but the Fire Rod or the Cane of Samaria, that one item you need just to finish.
I need to watch more of those. I'm not overly familiar with them, but they seem like they're a lot of fun.
They are a lot of fun. Progression has come a long way.
All right, so Dessy now going to be picking up bombs here, and Dixie making, or hopefully will be making short work of Kraid here.
I think Total brings up a good point as well in the chat that going to wreck ship right now is probably just bad routing, bad idea. I think he's right. I think Norfair is the way to go right now with the way it's going.
Yeah, I agree. The only way that... and again, it's all item specific. There's a million ways we could talk about this. The only way that somebody might still choose to go to wreck ship early would be if they felt like potentially they were, maybe the underdog and wanted to try to get lucky with one of the last major items or something like that. But in general, going wreck ship near the end of your run is going to be a better, more efficient route.
Also, I would like to point out, congrats to Elio picking up the third Kraid quick kill today of 12 matches that we've done. Kraid has just been a thorn in everyone's side today. Everyone has missed a quick kill today.
Well done to Dixie on that one. See if we can get Dessy to do it.
Yep, come on, Dessy.
Spazer.
Interesting.
Certainly not a bad pickup at all, already having charge and not having plasma, so that's good. Add some power to the beam. Not quite.
Oh, Kraid strikes again!
Oh, that was a really well done cleanup though by Dessy. Nice work. Dixie opting to go ahead and check Ice Beam first here. My assumption, and again I could be wrong, but my assumption would be by checking Ice first, the choice will be to then not immediately go the southern route down to where Crockettmeyer's door would be. I would assume that there will be a high jump boots check after this. Sometimes you'll see players check high jump boots first, then Ice Beam if they have speed booster, and then go below Ice Beam and then down to where Crockettmeyer is, or just straight to Bubble Mountain.
Well, if they go Crockettmeyer afterwards, it would make sense to do Bubble Mountain first, then, so you're not doing a lot of needless backtracking.
Right.
But we'll see.
No, it looks like he's going to skip high jump boots for now.
Interesting choice to pick up the supers.
Yeah, you don't see too many pick up that minor right there, but it's always good to know that it's there in case you're still looking for like another power bomb pack or something like that. So, ooh, all right, we're gonna get some Croco action here.
Oh, tried to do the horizontal spark.
So Dessy about to check the high jump boots location. Let's see if it's anything super valuable, and if the Dixie's choice will be good or bad. Okay, so it's just an E-tank, so Dixie didn't really miss out by skipping that.
Oh, Dessy's gonna opt to pick it up though. Interesting. Now we're fairly certain.
All right, what do we got over here? Ooh, grapple. I'm actually a big fan of grapple. It's obviously not like one of the most powerful items in randomizers, but I do think it has a lot of uses, not only if you end up with a suitless Meridia attempt, but it can be really good for farming in certain places. Like, they don't really have to farm as much, I guess, with Charge Beam, but if you don't have Charge Beam and you're heading down to Lower Norfair, it makes the farming of the bugs prior to Ridley a lot faster. So I think it's a good item overall.
I would agree with that. I'm kind of curious what grapple will give. Really, there's only one or two items that the players are going to look for at this point.
Yeah, I think every player, I'm just kind of speaking about this from my personal perspective, but every player has sort of different strengths and weaknesses or different levels of comfort with certain segments of the game. Personally, for me, I would still feel very comfortable, or a lot more comfortable, with Lower Norfair. If you had Screw Attack or something like that. I kind of feel like Screw Attack has more value in Lower Norfair than it does in other segments of the game, just because the creatures down there do so much damage, and if you don't have Plasma Beam like you would in like a old route run, it just makes it way safer. So we'll kind of see what they opt to do given what they have. They can definitely get into Lower Norfair, but then it comes down to how comfortable are they with the items that they have, if that makes sense.
Dessy choosing to go the Cathedral route to get to Bubble Mountain. Oh, is he going to do what I think he's going to do? Is he going for Lava Dive? He's thinking about it.
Yeah, it looks like he might go ahead and head to Lava Dive here and try to get into Lower Norfair. Quick reminder, again, I would assume most of our audience is pretty familiar with the settings for the tournament randomizer, but we'll mention them again just in case we have some new viewers. The Various suit actually provides, I think, twice as much protection against elements as it normally does. So you'll notice that the health is ticking down while in the lava, but not nearly at the rate it would in regular Super Metroid. So this allows the runners multiple attempts to do these lava dives. Well done.
And yeah, very well done. And by that same token, the gravity suit, which used to, no longer does. Gravity suit is completely useless as a protection variant or protection option in Norfair.
Correct. I found that out the hard way in one of my matches because I forgot that it also didn't protect against spike damage. So I had on gravity but not Varia, and I actually died to some spikes.
Oops.
All right, Dixie now checking Bubble Mountain Reserve. Let's see what we got up here. And Dessy now in Lower Norfair. Do you think Dessy will make the choice to check Screw Attack or just simply go for it?
I think he's going to check. Yep,
okay.
It looks like he is.
See if we can get a green gate glitch here. Very well done. Excellent place to farm supers right here, as those rippers drop supers. I don't know if it's 100, but at minimum it's like 99%.
It is. I'm pretty sure it is 99. Very rarely it's a big health drop. Oh, the Joker reserve tank drop.
So basically, just to fill everybody in, Dessy has two options to get out here. It looks like he's going to opt for the fastest way, which, given his items, is to infinite bomb jump. He can technically get out though with speed booster alone. He would just have to go over and kill GT first.
I'm kind of surprised he didn't do the energy refill room method because he has high jumps. Oh yeah, wait, because he would have to break the blocks up top. Okay, yeah.
You would have to do that. Yeah, I've made that mistake many times. To do that, you would have to have speed booster, high jump boots, and screw attack. Fast pillars there. Looks like Dixie farming up, about to attempt a lava dive as well. Didn't really find anything overly useful so far in the trip to Bubble Mountain. Here's another one of those rooms where if you have screw attack, this room becomes much easier than if you don't.
Oh, he's gonna. Okay, I see what's good. Oh no!
Didn't quite get there off the pirate, but he seems to be in a good spot. Yeah, very good. The pirate walked down, or climbed down, I suppose. Dixie trying the lava dive. Well done.
Oof. That looked close.
Yeah. Here's one. Actually, this room, the amphitheater, can be very dangerous if you don't have gravity. Because if you accidentally fall, which does happen from time to time, you don't have gravity, and it's much more difficult to get out of the lava. So I'm glad to see that you made it.
Yep, and then you have to deal with golden pirates shooting french fries at you, and that's not a good time.
Yeah, once again, even if players, can make their way through Lower Norfair, it's still not the easiest segment because if you don't have some of the major items, the enemies do a lot of damage down there. Is that 2 reserves in a row for Lower Norfair?
That is 2 reserves in a row.
My goodness.
It looks like Dixie is not gonna check the screw attack. He doesn't know it, but that is a good decision.
Yeah, kind of getting sort of fortunate. Sometimes when you're in a race, you have to make choices about whether or not you think you're ahead or behind and what items you think you should check and what you shouldn't. Sometimes the risks that you take turn out to work, and sometimes, they don't. But in this case, obviously with the reserve being over there, it's a bit of a time save not to check it. And here right now we're actually seeing kind of what I was referring to coming to life here with Dessy's stream. Those key hunters, they do a lot of damage. Dessy doesn't have a ton of health at the moment. Those key hunters do like 50 a pop, I think. And without plasma, it's a lot harder to kill those guys. So how many spacers were just unleashed on there? Like 15 or something?
Quite a bit, yeah.
So the interesting thing about Lower Norfair to me in terms of randomizers is, a decision to go into Lower Norfair faster with less items can sometimes be faster. But technically, if you're not comfortable moving quickly with the items that you have, it might actually be faster for you to continue to find a few of the other stronger items so that you're safer and you move quickly through here.
Oh, Dessy abusing the damage invincibility power bomb window to avoid the Dessyreqt. Dessyreqt's without gravity really hurt.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, don't tell me you're gonna try and Kago through that, because that's 100 damage. Okay, good.
Dessy almost getting the speed boost kill there on the, well, I call them the Ninja Pirates. I don't know. What is their official name?
I don't know what the official name is. I've always referred to them as Ninja Pirates. Without grapple, he's going to have to farm. Ooh, Dixie opting to pick up the Mickey Mouse missile.
Interesting. Was able to get out without falling. That's very good. Yeah, this is actually a part that I was referring to earlier. Depending on how much Dessy wants to farm, if Dixie is able to farm efficiently with grapple, then Dixie will probably make up a little bit of time in that segment. Oh, unfortunately.
Oh no! No, Amphitheater claiming another victim.
That's very unfortunate.
Oh, his last safety save was before going down the elevator. That's good. Ooh, that was close.
Yeah, luckily in terms of just progression, not too much time lost there. But you never, it's never good to see a runner accidentally get killed like that. But yeah, basically back to what I was saying earlier, like when Dixie gets to this part of farming before Ridley, there's a chance to make up some time because it's just simply a lot faster to farm with grapple beam than it is with your regular beams here.
Guess he's looking for that last super drop. Now, Dessy is an experienced RBO runner. He knows how to fight Ridley with limited ammo and weapons.
Which
so we'll see how this fight goes. Yep.
But the good news too is they have charge, so even at minimum, they can't necessarily run out of ammo. It just might take a while depending on how many shots it takes with the beams they have.
I made a mistake. I said RBO. I meant to say low percent, but well, RBO too. He's done it all. Oh.
Ooh, Dixie's taking some damage here in worst room in the game. Let's hope that get past this pirate up here at the top without taking any more damage.
Techno. Dessy's not even here to say that, but he'd probably be right. Oh, Dixie's got to be careful.
Yeah, these pirates do a ton of damage.
Oh no!
Oh,
He's ceiling
that's
bombs.
very unfortunate. Dessy doing a good job here.
Keeping up with the pogos. I'm not sure if he's shot counting, but he knows when Ridley does his first color change, he can almost start unloading his supers.
Correct. And once again, just a piece of information for anyone who might not be aware, supers actually do double damage versus Ridley. Supers normally do 300 damage. Against Ridley, they do 600. So if you go in here without charge beam and you only, let's imagine you're just trying to kill him with supers alone, you would want to have 30 to be able to kill Ridley, and every one that you miss, you would need 6 regular missiles to cover that one super. So that's kind of how important supers are in the randomizer. Even if you have charge beam here, I think it's good to come down to lower Norfair with plenty of supers. It makes this fight much faster. And here he goes with the unload of the supers.
Oh, that was a nice extended pogo. Ridley's almost dead.
Yes, getting very close here.
Oh, no, Dixie! Oh, get those pirates out of there! Whew.
Okay, Dessy, very nice.
Nicely done, Dessy.
Well, let's see if the final lower Norfair item will be better than the 2 reserves we've seen so far. Oh my gosh!
Wow!
This has been the
brutal.
This is the worst, most brutal lower Norfair I've ever seen. I'm sure you too, Lynette.
Wow! Yeah, I have never ever seen a lower Norfair this bad.
Wow. I feel like every time I commentate, something really bad happens. Like 2 of the matches I commentated on were both suitless Meridia ones, and now this. Oh, Dixie taking another death in the amphitheater.
Oh no.
Yes, as Newt Mox said in the chat, and I say this pretty frequently as well, the rando giveth and the rando taketh away. Blessed be the name of the rando. In this case, the rando taketh.
The Kip curse? I don't know if it's the Kip curse, but
maybe a curse for the runners. I think the audience usually enjoys the suitless Meridia.
I mean, you couldn't even buy that in the last 6 matches from earlier.
That's true.
All the suits were very freely and early, given very early.
You know, and while we're on that conversation, you know, again, I think randomizer logic and just theory are very interesting to think about, but, and I could be wrong here, but I think if you find if you find both suits fairly early in some seeds, I think that gives an incredible advantage to the player who is like the better player. Like, for example, if I was running up against, you know, Zost or one of the top players in the community, and both of the suits were found early, I would be like, well, this is bad for me because this is, like, there's not that many chances that I can take. You know what I mean? Like, if I was playing against a really good player, maybe I could take chances and go to different places that they might would check last, and if I got lucky, it might help me. But with suits coming so early, it really gives a huge advantage to the faster player. Because at that point, they can just basically start, you know, start going and trying to finish the game without having to search that many more spots.
Alright, let's see if Dessy decides to safety save on his way up. Memories of the relay race. Looks like he's going to.
Oh no, amphitheater.
No, Dixie.
Again.
Oh no. Dixie's in. Oh, this is bad. This is really bad.
Oh, phew. Okay. Oh no.
No! Oh no. And unfortunately, Dixie does not know that Lower Norfair has nothing for rewards. He does not know there's only reserve tanks down here.
Right, and see, even if it's not a major item, Lower Norfair, I'm never really upset to find just a regular energy tank in some of these spots, because you might take a lot of damage and then, you know, be able to refill before a fight or something like that, or after a fight. And he's not going to have any help in that regard.
He will have the grapple beam just before Ridley, but yeah, I don't know. This is Lower Norfair is not being very nice right now.
No, it's not the easiest segment, that's for sure. Ooh, Dessy needs to be very careful. And once again, here we have kind of what I was referring to earlier. You know, Dessy, it's hard to take a risk to get hit there's so much damage he could die, but at the same time, these key hunters take a massive amount of hits to kill. So if you come down here without a lot of the stronger items, it can be very...
And Dessy is actually using a game mechanic very well to his advantage. You'll notice that he is like almost completely obscured by the blocks, the ceiling, but because of the hitbox of the spazer, as long as part of the beam is able to pass through, all of the beam will be able to pass through, and he's able to hit the pirates that way. And that's a very, very good tactical decision by Dessy there.
Yeah, great point. So it looks like we're going to check on Wave. What's your prediction, Leno? What do you think?
Another energy tank. Or maybe the 4th reserve.
Yeah, that would be funny. The first item outside of Lower Norfair being in reserve. Oh, Dixie again having some difficulty there. I'm going to say Wave at Wave, just for the fun times. Oh, too bad.
I'm sure he'll take it, though. He's almost dead.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, a lot of times energy tanks are not even about getting an extra tank, but really just for a refill.
Yeah. And Elminster brings up a good point. That is not specific to the spazer, that thing I mentioned, but just because of how wide the spazer's beam hitbox actually is, he's able to use it very effectively. The same is true for all beams.
Yeah, great point.
What do you think is going to be in the speed booster?
Man, I don't know. What do we have left? Let's see. I'm going to hope that it's an item out like other than an E-tank, and just hope that we find something interesting. Maybe I think it'd be kind of troll to find Screw Attack, because I think, like I said earlier, Screw Attack's much better for Lower Norfair. But no, it's just an E-tank.
Oh.
Now that I think about it, Leno, have they found a single like powerful item in Norfair at all yet? Like any of the Norfair items? I don't recall.
I don't think so. I think it was just
maybe Spazer is the only one?
Oh, it was one of the... I don't think it was even one of the beams.
Because most of the major items that they currently have were found before they even came down here.
Yeah, I think Criteria's had everything so far.
Yeah, that's a really stacked, like Criteria and Brinstar. All right, Dixie gonna give.
I meant to say Brinstar. I'm sorry.
Oh no, yeah, but Criteria had plenty of really good items too. I kind of lumped them together anyway because you know the beginning of the game flows together.
Oh, Destiny wants nothing to do with that energy tank. Oh, Dixie, able to get through the amphitheater, is able to proceed at last to Ridley. I'm not sure how well he is with low percent and RBO tactics, but hopefully he's able to dispose of Ridley in a quick hurry.
Yeah, the good news for Dixie is that with 25 supers, you only actually need either 30 more regular missiles or, you know, several charge shots. So depending on how comfortable he is with the fight, it could, you know, be a pretty quick one.
Oh, that's true.
I believe Dessy only had 15 supers during that fight, is that right?
Yeah, yes, 15, yep.
So that's, you know, in terms of supers, only 50% of what it would take to kill Ridley. Dixie will have, what's the, like 1/6, what's that percentage? Like 18% or something like that. So he'll have over 80% of the damage needed.
Yep, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. My math's probably a little fuzzy, but I'm just kind of winging it right off the top of my head.
Destiny choosing to take on Crocomire. I don't recall if Dixie fought Crocomire.
Dixie did.
And there wasn't nothing of worthwhile down here, was there?
I think it was 2 E-tanks. No. Grapple beam was down here.
Ah,
I think grapple was at this spot. I think an E-tank was at the grapple spot.
that's what Technomagus in chat just confirmed that grapple at the tank and then tank at the grapple.
There we go. Very nice. And once again, just to kind of keep track of things, Dessy has not gone back for it yet. Hopefully he will remember to, because if this ends up being a Suitless Meridia seed, the grapple beam will be very helpful.
It'll be required, yeah. And since he does not have Spring Ball, yeah. Come on, Dessy, use those 2004 strats.
All right, Dusty gonna pass on the E-tank there. Dixie not exactly thrilled about the reserve tank there. Just as a oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, Dixie going back down. I don't know if he's going to safety save again. And nice Shine Spark there.
Yeah, Dixie could have chosen to just reset right there.
That might have been the better play.
But just as a reminder, because it was mentioned in chat, every single item in Lower Norfair was a reserve.
Oh, is he going to safety save with less health? I don't know. Dixie, why?
Well, hopefully, the main challenge here will be to get by. What's the official name of the? I just call them the big purple guys. What's their official name again?
The big hoppers. Those are Dessyreqts.
Dessyreqts. Okay, yeah. This is going to be a part that will be pretty hard, but the pirate segment, if he can get by it, will drop some items.
Ouch. That looked like it hurt. Oh, I would have thought Dessy was going to Meridia first. It looks like he's going to go to Rex ship.
Well, he doesn't have gravity yet, right?
Yeah, he does not have gravity.
So my assumption would be, like, most players would probably check, like, X-ray, Gauntlet, and then Rex ship before they would attempt a Suitless Meridia.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Although I will say, I think we saw, I could be wrong, chat can correct me, but I believe we saw Wild Anaconda purposefully do Suitless Meridia one time because he realized where gravity was and thought he could do Suitless Meridia faster than going and grabbing it. So there are definitely players out there with the capabilities to do it faster. Not many though, probably not many.
Yes, Elminster, he did just die to Moonwalk. That,
Oh, Plasma. That's a huge pickup. Plasma is good anyway, but especially with Charge already in the bag, very good.
He's got Charge Ice, so I think he does, I want to say 700 damage per charge shot? Maybe 650 or something like that? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I guess at this point he has all beams but wave, correct? So
yep.
Yeah, that's going to be a ton of damage. I think without wave you need, again, I'm just kind of ballparking, somewhere around 24 or 25 charge shots to kill Mother Brain 2 as opposed to just 20. So
that sounds about right.
So it's not, significant in terms of how much more time it would take.
Charge plasma is 300. Oh. Charge plasma is 450. Okay.
And then we have ice on top of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's like 500 damage then, probably, for charge ice plasma. Oh,
I think
600.
charge ice plasma
Okay.
is 600, yeah. Okay, it's 30
Okay.
shots. Thank you, Elminster. So that increases it, obviously, with the math there. 600 being 2/3 of 900. So, you know, 20 being 2/3 of 30 or whatever. So, long story short, it takes a little bit more, but it's not a massive amount. Like, even if you only had plasma and charge, you're still going to be able to get through Mother Brain 2 much faster than some of the other categories you might see, like, you know, low percent ice or whatever. I think that kind of goes without saying. So if you can have plasma and charge together, you're going to be in for a not too terrible Mother Brain 2.
Dixie asking for a nerf on the Dessyreqt damage.
Oh.
Oh, ouch. Oh, Dixie, unfortunately, just struggling in lower Norfair. It's he has almost everything he needs to Crystal Flash, except he needs 7 more power bombs.
Oh, Elminster dropping some more knowledge for us down there. I actually did not know that. The ice plasma has a 12 frame cooldown instead of 15 frame cooldown, which I would assume every other beam combo has 15. So that's interesting.
Hmm.
Oh no.
Nope. My partner in crime has departed. No more bad jokes from me, unless they really, really present themselves. Yeah, all of us kind of said this seed was free. It's not really the case anymore. The game decided to troll.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier, like, it's always kind of interesting to see what happens, because sometimes early in these randomizers, you get so many good items and you're like, oh man, you know, all we need is like one more item, right? But then if you don't find that item, it can take quite a while. So depending on where gravity is, this could be an interesting seed. We got 4 more checks here for gravity.
Yep, and I think chat is going to agree with me on this one. They want gravity to be in Merida.
That tends to be the case. Ooh,
Oh,
we're getting some X-ray action. How about that? Well done.
Waterway was checked. I want to say, I forget what it was though.
It was an
The waterway was checked.
No, it was charged, wasn't it?
Was it? Yeah, it was.
It was one of the major, like, big ones, because I remember when they got down there, we were like, oh my goodness.
Because that was just another big item that they just picked up. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not sure what Dixie's options are at this point. He's gonna have a hard time getting out, and ugh. Wait,
Okay.
does he know that?
Ooh, space jump. Are we about to have stack ship? So basically, let's put ourselves in the mind frame of the runners here, okay? The runners would absolutely love to have, at this point, Dessy would love to have gravity at the wreck ship E-tank spot, because that would mean he could immediately leave and not have to check, you know, bowling and the reserve item. Those 2 items actually, in the grand scheme of things, kind of take a while to check. So he's going to hope that he can grab gravity here and then immediately just exit and head down to Meridia. We'll see. We'll see what we get here.
Yeah, Dessy is almost in full-blown go mode, and any other major item he wouldn't even care about. It's gravity that he wants.
Absolutely.
Wave, screw attack, and spring. Yeah, wave, screw attack, and spring ball are irrelevant at this point.
Yeah, and even at this point, in my opinion, I mean, grabbing wave, it certainly isn't bad, you know, because it adds some damage and you can have some quicker fights and whatnot. But it's certainly not mandatory at all to have that.
Oh, Dixie. Ugh.
Man, it really is. It pains me to see runners getting to these spots that are just so difficult to deal with. Like, I really feel for Dixie here. This is a really tough spot to be in with that amount of health and, you know, the amount of damage that these creatures are doing.
The struggle is real, unfortunately. Everyone, we want to give Dixie some support. I know he can do this. But I'm not sure what it's going to take for him to be able to get past these Gigas so he can continue, so he can at least get to a spot where he can farm.
There he goes. Okay, let's use some iframes here. Oh
no! Ooh.
Maybe he can use another power. Okay, that'll work.
Oh no! Oh. Oh, he had it too. All he had to do was get past that last one, and he was at the Ninja Pirates. Oh.
There it is. Gravity.
Gravity suit. Nice.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we will not be having a suitless Meridia this time. As soon as Dessy gets down there and grabs gravity, it will be basically just straight to Dragon, I would assume. Again, you know, you never know what players will opt to do. There's different strategies, but I would assume Dessy might opt to just go straight to Botwoon, straight to Dragon, and then to Torian after that.
Yeah, I believe you're correct. I don't think he's making any other stops.
Yes, that's right. No suitless Meridia. Ruined.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised if Dessy even skips picking up the gravity item. Or the gravity location item.
Yeah, it just depends on what it is. I mean, he's got to walk through there to get out, so if it's... I mean, I guess if it's screw attack or wave, he'd probably pick it up, but otherwise probably just jump over it. Alright, we got purple stuff. Time to go to Meridia. Ooh, Dixie. Unfortunate again.
Yeah, I've got to wonder at some point, is Dixie going to think about forfeiting? Or is he going to just try maybe escape and get back out? I don't know. Because he has to get through Junkyard. He has to... Huh. Yeah, I don't know. And you never want to see this happen, but I wonder if he's just going to forfeit when he sees that Dessy finishes.
Oh
no. Alright, chat. We have to give all of the RNG to Dixie. Somehow.
I think this is a good example of, sometimes there are items that are not required, but can really, really help you go faster. And in this case, screw attack is just one of those items. Like, imagine how, much easier some of these rooms would be with it, because they would just literally just have to jump through them, right? But without them, it's very difficult. I mean, these creatures do an insane amount of damage, so it's, Lord Norfair is trickier than you might would think.
Oh, Dixie was able to use Power Bomb invincibility for him to dodge that Dessyreqt hit. He's through! He's through!
Excellent.
Okay, take it slow. He's got a little bit of energy. It takes 3 supers to kill the Golden Pirates.
And he has, what, 4 supers? And I would assume, you can't ever tell, but most of the time you're going to get at least 2 super drops probably from the Pirates. So hopefully he'll be able to get what he needs here and be able to do it quickly.
He does still have Charge Beam. Oh, no. Oh, Dixie.
Oh,
No.
It's very unfortunate.
Dixie. Can we get some Bible thumbs in chat, please? Not like this.
Now here we see on Dessy's screen another great use of X-Ray. And apparently using the appropriate amount of X-Ray usages there. Oh, there was a screw attack. Yeah. I learned the hard way that apparently I wasn't overly familiar with how many times you needed the X-Ray Botwoon, and apparently I overused the X-Ray in my race, so learned a lesson there. I need to go back and watch Dessy's use here and get a little bit better here.
Well, at least Dragon has an easy indicator. When Dragon's eyes shift direction, you know that she's dead.
Correct.
You can also hear a sound effect, potentially.
You also can, if you crouch and shoot your beam and then use X-Ray, as soon as Dragon dies, the game will force you into a standing position. And so as soon as you see yourself stand up, then you're good to go.
That is also true. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's the way I do it, just because it's a little bit easier for me. It's almost kind of like I don't even have to do any work, you know what I mean? Got it. Well done.
Nicely done. Oh.
Okay, so Dessy at this point has now defeated all 4 of the G4 bosses and will make his way to Torian. Again, it just kind of depends on the runner or what they're looking to do, but my assumption would be that probably would skip checking Gauntlet on the way in.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to check Gauntlet.
The only thing you could even say would be helpful is if you had Wave, but again, I think it would actually take longer to check Gauntlet than how much time you would save, by having Wave. So probably just straight go mode here.
Wait, I thought Dessy... Yeah, Dessy already checked the Gauntlet. That was an energy tank.
Oh, okay, my fault. That might have been right when I first came. I think I missed the first 5 minutes of the run here.
I completely forgot that Gauntlet was already checked.
Oh, no.
Oh, Dixie. Oh. I just feel bad.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I mean, it's never, it's never fun to watch an unfortunate sequence happen in a randomizer. Just gotta hope that, we can get a little bit of fortune here and get through like earlier, and hopefully get some drops from the pirates.
Yes, someone asked a question. This is the losers bracket. This is game 1 of the losers bracket. Dessyreqt versus HelioDixy. Oh, he's in a good position. Come on, get those Disky guys.
All right, good start.
Nice. He's got him. He won't be out of the bracket yet. He'll just lose game 1. It just means he has to win the next 2 if he wants to keep going. Oh no.
Okay, Dessy now and Torian with Ice Beam and some backup power bombs just in case. But actually, now that I think about it, having bombs, just regular bombs, one of the kind of forgotten about usages of it in a rando is that if you get into Torian and you get grabbed by a Metroid, you can get them off and still Ice Beam them, whereas if you don't have bombs and you get grabbed by one, you have no other option but to power bomb them. So this is a good position.
Yeah, unfortunately, Dixie just got into this death loop and it has snowballed, and unfortunately, he just has not been able to recover. But he is still trying. Well, he's not wrong. Dixie is correct. Dessy is in Turian. But Dixie is not giving up. He is trying to see this through.
Oh, I don't see that too often. That's a neat trick. Dessy just dropped a power bomb to clear out the vines, or I don't know. What would you refer to those things as?
They have vines. I don't think they have any official name. Vines is a accurate one.
Yeah, and I just realized that might actually save a good bit of time, because when you don't have wave, it actually takes longer to clear them out.
This is true. I just realized that since Dessy does not have the wave beam, he may not be able to set up for the Zeb skip traditionally. I think there is one from below with Ice Beam and Plasma, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Oh, yeah. What I do, and again, I'm sure there are different methods, but if I don't have wave but do have Plasma, I make a point to just take Plasma off. If you only have Ice Beam equipped, it's actually very easy to get underneath and do it, or Spacer works as well. So, but Plasma, you can do it, but I think it's a very, very tight window. I don't know if Dessy is aware of that, but literally just taking Plasma off and using only Ice Beam would make it much easier. Okay, there we go. Nicely done.
Excellent. Ice Plasma works with a charge shot. Well, that makes sense. Kind of. It's a slightly wider beam, slightly longer. Probably has a slightly bigger hitbox overall.
Correct. It's kind of interesting, the different properties of all the different beams, you know?
It's amazing how robust they are.
Plasma without wave, to me, is one of the most, like, humorous beams, because, you know, if you run old route 80%, you never see plasma without wave. And so when you just see this one, you know, really long shot come out, it just looks really funny to me. It's almost like a cheese stick or something like that. I guess I'm gonna stay on food theme since we got Mother Brain, French fry, and ketchup and all that.
Oh, Dixie. Oh, so close. Dessy is not going to be able to do stand-up, but he's going to barely survive with 32 energy. Okay, he's got some health. He's got to be careful of the Holtzes.
Alright, in Flower House now. See, this is another one of those things where, you know, you come into Lower Norfair without gravity, and even in rooms like this, it becomes more difficult because you can't just, like, run through the lava real quick, you know what I mean? And then if you don't have strong beams or you don't have screw attack, it's really difficult to get through some of these segments.
He is, well, I'm not sure what Dixie was doing there. He took a couple moments. Looks like he's paying attention to something else.
And now we've got the rainbow beam. You know what I just realized? This is the first time that I have ever realized this, and I'm not sure why it took me so long. The rainbow beam is basically just the plasma beam without wave, isn't it? In terms of its design. Huh.
Yep, it is. I think it's just a charged plasma with fluctuating palette.
Interesting. I don't know why I never noticed that before. Now Dixie making great use of grapple here to farm quickly. Not farming Quickie as in Quickie Mart, one of our other runners. And now Dessy is making his way to the escape here, or through the escape, I should say. Nice short charge recovery there by Dessy. Dessy trying to get the short try. There we go. Final spark there.
He's got it. Looks like Dixie is trying to farm for some more power bombs. There are balls later in the room that have almost guaranteed power bomb drop rates.
Yeah, I call them the little. It's not an official term. I call them the fuzzy butts. Those little orb guys drop power bombs like 99%. So if you really are in need of power bombs and you farm them all but still need more, you can reset them. All right, Dessy finishing with a 114.37 there.
Congratulations, Dessy, finishing game 1.
Gonna throw in chat there, I just threw out the GG emote that comes with being a subscriber to the Speed Gaming channel. I have not been asked to say this at all, but I would highly recommend if anybody is looking for, a channel to subscribe to, that the amount of content that we get here is excellent, and I would highly recommend that if you want to show some support to the Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 channels, subscribing would be a great way to do so.
Also, chat likes fuzzy butts, I guess.
I guess so.
All right, looks like Dixie has managed to kill Ridley, but you just got to get grabbed.
Good day.
Desi! Hello.
How's it going?
Going good.
So I'm told by Helio that he went to Lower Norfair first, and he's still fighting Ridley. So
yeah, you guys basically went to Lower Norfair at the same time, but he ended up safety saving with 76 health.
oh gosh,
Yeah.
I mean that's not much better than what I had.
Desi!
Still.
Yeah. Hello. He ended up getting
Going
wrecked
good.
by the Disgigas multiple times, unfortunately.
Yeah, this fight is hard. I thought
Yeah, well,
it is.
I thought I had almost blown it.
Welcome in,
Man, I
Desi.
went
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
And I think
Regrets about enabling Moonwalk. Yeah, that's I did that for one run, and then the Ridley fight is why I didn't enable it, because I need a lot more getting used to on that.
mhm.
All right.
So I have a couple questions for you.
Yeah.
When you were finishing up criteria and then going through Brinstar, and all these items just fell in your lap, what were your initial thoughts?
Like, what are you talking about? Because we started out with high jump, then ice beam, and
Yep.
Varia.
You got-
Varia was
and you got
the
speed boost.
pain in the ass one to get because I didn't have enough health.
Yep.
Because I didn't want to go in that room and die, right?
Yep, you got the speed
No, as
booster
soon as I got
charging
Varia,
right
I'm like,
away.
well, I have high jump. I guess we're going to Lower Norfair first. And when I came back up from Lower Norfair, if I had confidence in getting out of Dragon with just grapple, then I would have went ahead and done Suitless Meridia. But unfortunately, or if I had Spring Ball, I think Spring Ball would have been okay.
Okay. Lower Norfair.
Lower Norfair wasn't fantastic. Let's see, what was there, like a reserve tank at Screw Attack or something like that? Yeah, it was kind of bad.
There was a reserve tank, and a reserve tank.
Yeah, so yeah, that's right. Oh man.
Yeah, that will go down in history as the worst Lower Norfair in terms of items that I think we will see throughout this whole
Yeah,
tournament.
especially
So
since we were
congratulations.
encouraged to go there early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So walk us through a little bit. We're just looking for some commentary here. Walk us through what's going through your brain when you have so many strong, items, especially some progression items at the beginning.
One moment.
Then you're still missing one of the major ones like gravity. So we were talking about hey, depending on if they find gravity very quickly in Lower Norfair, it changes some things, but it took a while to find that kind of final piece. What are you thinking when you get in these positions like that? Like if you find charge early or whatever?
Well, I mean, the way I'm playing now, I sort of expect to find charge every time anyway. Like I'm not going to search for 60 supers and missiles, or some combination that lets me win the game. I'd rather just go find charge, and right now I'm just banking on, if charge is in a really bad spot, well, so getting charge relatively early was helpful. I mean, just for knowing that I wasn't going to have to find, but there's always like this laundry list of things. Like gravity was the big one in this seed, right? And it ended up being at the worst spot.
Yeah, we discussed that
literally.
We were talking about how you would
It would have been fantastic if I went to wreck shit first, right? Which usually I would, but I decided, okay, well, It's probably actually better to go to Lower Norfair if you have high jump and bar. Well, I got high jump
Yep,
and bar, so we went to Lower
that's
Norfair.
actually that's actually something Total commented on in the chat early in the race. Like with the items you had, the decision was go to Norfair, and that was the correct decision. But that one item just ended up being the troll.
Of course, it turned out that my Ridley fight kind of sucked. I mean, it wasn't. I didn't die, but that's about all I can say for it. We made a couple of pretty big mistakes at the beginning of the fight.
Actually, I thought you did.
I was having
well
problems
with
I was having problems with my select button the whole run, which is kind of a shame because I cleaned my controller out like I don't know a couple weeks ago.
The only issue with the Ridley fight that I noticed, I thought you executed really well, was obviously when you have charge, you probably don't collect as many minors, but with only 15 supers that do double damage, you had to supplement that with some charge shots. And if you're used to running 80% of something like that, you usually have plasma down there. So in this case, I think you only had at that point Spazer and Ice. So it just took a little bit longer, but I thought you did really well in terms of getting the pogos and hitting all those shots.
So I knew there was going to be 100 shots, but then I also knew I have 15 supers, so basically just get them red and don't miss a super.
Yeah.
Easy enough. It was just a matter of like I took a couple of body hits pretty early on in the fight, and then once I got him down to halfway, I just okay, we'll just play this one nice and easy, dodge all the things, don't be careful with your shots, and it worked out. Unfortunately, when he grabbed me, he was nice about it and didn't troll me or anything.
Hello, guys.
Hey,
Dixie, hello. I am so sorry, Dixie.
Me too.
Like we the
Did somebody
Deskigas were.
I feel kind of bad for Dixie actually, because we started an hour later than we intended to, and it's really late for him. So
Yeah, it's what, getting close to 3 a.m. for you, isn't it, Dixie?
It's 2 a.m. also.
2 a.m.
Yep. And one more important thing, my chair is totally broken, so I can't run. I can't run correct.
if you had gone wreck ship
So,
first, I think he would have won.
When I found the item boots in Brinstar and the Via just after,
Oh no, I mean I had the exact same thought process.
lava dive,
but
just
just
lava dive.
the way this seed came out, and it seems like you were having a little trouble with Ridley, which is a tough fight.
Believe it or not,
Ridley was
Dixie,
in
you
the trouble.
and Desi, yeah.
Oh, it
believe
was
or
the
not,
safety
Dixie,
save. That's right.
It was you and Desi chose the exact same route. You guys went to Lower Norfair at the same time.
Oh, I
And,
wasn't late.
Yeah, and Desi, the gravity suit was at the wreck ship item reserve, and that's why he was saying that if you had gone to wreck ship first, you probably would have won.
I think the only variation between the two routes was, Dixie, if I recall, you checked Crocomire prior to Lower Norfair and you picked up Grapple. And Desi, I think you did not. And so I think you checked Crocomire afterwards. So that was the only major kind of variation.
If I find gravity suit in Lower Norfair, we're off to the races. There's no need to. Right, I'm trying to put off all the big unnecessary areas to as late as possible, but still kind of convenient on the route.
Yeah, so Dixie got into Lower Norfair slightly behind you, but I think it was more of a routing thing. Up to that point, it was very, very close.
Yeah, I felt like my initial pickup in Brinstar was pretty sloppy, especially since after I did the gauntlet, I didn't refill my power bombs, which is something I will never forget to do again, or never decide not to do again. It's like we come out of the gauntlet with 0 power bombs, and we don't have regular bombs. Sure, we can break through that one thing just fine, but then when we need the power bombs to actually check items in Brinstar.
Well, Before we wrap up here in the near future, let me just go ahead and say a couple things. Number one, to everybody that's watching, make sure to follow both of these runners, providing a lot of great entertainment. Also, I believe you guys have your second match. Let's see, it'll be August the 12th?
Next Saturday.
Okay,
Next Saturday.
Saturday, same
Same bat time.
Supposed to be the same time as this week, but we started an hour late this week. So hopefully we actually start on time next time.
And then if it happens to go to a third game, then that will be the next Saturday. So, everybody who's watching, make sure to come back next Saturday to watch another great race between these two players.
Chat was asking when the next match is supposed to be. There's already supposed to be another match. We are waiting on one of the participants to show up. We're not sure if there's been a communication issue or if it's just a no-show. They're still working on that.
What are we waiting on? Is this...
we're waiting on Inno Rush and Darko to start their match. But I believe there is a four-way going on in Speed Gaming 2 right now between Kelcharge, Raikou Rider, Crankdud, and Cephalov.
I think the Sephi match might be game 3. I think they might have split their first 2 games, so that might be the deciding game.
That is the game. That is game 3. Yes.
So that's very exciting.
Yes. Thank you, Fiesel, for linking that for us. So I guess I'm not sure what the plan is going to be for matches here. If we're still waiting on Darko. Otherwise, we do still have more matches. If there are no matches today, or if there are no more matches tonight, we will have more tomorrow. We have a 3-game series between Karen Konu and DJ Majet. In the losers bracket, Sephi will be commentating that one along with Cheaty Face. And Kip, I believe on Monday, you are commentating Zost and Rumblemans.
Correct. Yeah, that'll be a really good matchup. Obviously, I think everybody knows Zost because he's one of our premier players in our community. Rumble is also a really good player, has a lot of rando experience, and is actually experienced in multiple categories. So I'm really excited to see those two guys racing.
They should be very exciting indeed.
It's going to be a hell of a match for sure.
All right, I think I'm going to have to bow out now. I've been at this for the better part of 6.5 hours. I should probably stretch or something.
Yeah, thank you, Leno, for your service today. Once again, Desi, congratulations. My name is Southern Kip. I will also be stepping aside, and we'll probably put some music on or something like that until it's time for the next race. But once again, thank you, everybody, and have an excellent evening.